أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Inshallah, we are still explaining the sitting of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now we stopped at the fact that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam always place his right hand on his right thigh and his left hand on his left thigh. And we've also explained how he used to perform At-Tashaahud with regards to the fingers. So Ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullahi alayhi, his opinion and some other scholars is that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would not shake the finger. He would let it go down. Then whenever he got to the point of prayer, like Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad, he would raise it up. Then he would let it go down. The opinion of Ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullahi alayhi is that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't use to shake the as-sababa, which is the index finger. Wallahu alam. Other scholars, we have some of them who say that we should shake the index fingers. But those who consider not shaking the index fingers, they falsify the hadith that was brought by those who say we should shake it. Wallahu alam. Now, sifatu julusihi, afwan, the way the Prophet ﷺ used to sit, كما تقدم بين السجدتين سواء, between the two sajda, is the same. The same way he used to sit between the two sajda is the same way he used to sit in the second rak'ah if he wanted to recite At-Tashaahud. وأما حديث ابن الزبير, this hadith that was reported by Ibn Zubayr, الذي رواه مسلم, that Al-Imam Muslim narrated or reported. كان إذا قعد في الصلاة, Ibn Zubayr narrated that the Prophet ﷺ, whenever he sat in salah, جعل قدمه الأيسر, he would place his left leg بين فخذه وساقه, between his thigh and his shin. Okay, he would place his left leg between his thigh and his knee. وَفَرَشَ قَدَمَهُ الْأَيْمَنِ, and he would flatten, like he would make the right leg to be flat. This is what they are saying. You know, we've explained that whenever we want to sit for al-iftirash, so that it's like this, right? Al-iftirash is like this, sitting on the left leg and placing the right like this. But the explanation that was narrated by Ibn Zubayr, he said the Prophet ﷺ would place his left leg between the thigh and the shin like this, and flattened the right. Can you see? This is flattened, right? As if the toes are facing opposite direction to the Qibla. This is what Ibn Zubayr narrated from the Prophet ﷺ, flattened the right. So that is, we are still explaining Tashahud al-Awwal in the second rak'ah. Now, Ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullahi alayhi, he said, أنه يفرش اليمين, that the Prophet ﷺ used to flatten the right leg, just like I did now. وذكر أبو حميد أنه ينصبها. Abu Humayd stated in his own narration that the Prophet would do it like this, ينصبها, where the toes, can you see? This is different from this. This is flattened, this is nasbu. Okay? So that is the narration of Umayd. وهذا, Ibn al-Qayyim now said this, والله عالم, Allah knows better. ليس باختلاف. There is no difference of opinion in this regard. فَإِنَّهُ كَانَ لَا يَجْلِسُ عَلَيْهَا. What is known and what is sure is that the Prophet didn't used to sit on the right leg. So it's either like this or like this. But sitting on the right leg in the second rak'ah, في التشهد الأول, the Prophet didn't used to do that. So this is certain according to Ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullahi alayhi. بل يخرجها عن يمينه, that the Prophet ﷺ would place the right leg to the right side. His right side, the right leg will be placed in his right side. So this is what Ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullahi alayhi said as regards to the sitting of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then he said, فَتَكُونُ بَيْنَ الْمَنْسُوبَةِ وَالْمَفْرُوشَةِ, that the right leg will now be between doing like this, al-mafrusha, or doing like this. So, but wallahu alam, what scholars usually explain, in order not to make the words or the explanation to be bogus or to be cumbersome, they would not really talk about the differences. They would just say the toes should be facing the Qibla. So this is what scholars usually, give their stance on, like the toes facing the Qibla as opposed to flat toes facing the Qibla. Wallahu alam. But if someone does this, maybe he has read Zaadil and he's holding the opinion of Ibn al-Qayyim. So we shouldn't castigate that person that he has done something there. So, but that is that. The issues regarding al-fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence, is not an issue that there are some issues that there is ijma', like consensus. But most of the issues of al-furu', fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence, there is always difference of opinions. But usul is issues pertaining to aqidah. When it comes to aqidah, the usul is firm. One opinion, there is nothing like, but fiqh, there's always a difference of opinions. But still, even with the difference of opinion, it is always advisable to find a way of coming out from that difference of opinion and stick to one which is more authentic. Wallahu alam. Now, what you call, Ibn al-Qayyim says in Zaadil al-Ma'ad that it used to be said, كَانَ يَفْعَلُ هَذَا وَهَذَا, that the Prophet used to do this and this. فَكَانَ يَنْصِبُهَا وَرُبَّمَا فَرَشَهَا أَحْيَانًا. Then, this is where we now see that Ibn al-Qayyim also has a stance in this regard. He said, فَكَانَ يَنْصِبُهَا. The Prophet ﷺ used to place the toes facing the Qibla. Then he now mentioned, وَرُبَّمَا فَرَشَهَا أَحْيَانًا. Maybe, sometimes, he would flatten his leg like this. But he has taken a stance, because he said he used to do like this. It means that the sunnah that the Prophet ﷺ usually did is making the toes to face the Qibla. Wallahu alam. So, and this is more relaxed. ثم كان يتشاهد دائما بهذه الجلسة. He said the Prophet will now say At-Tashaahud, At-Tahiyyatu lillah, with this sitting on this, while he was on this. So وَيُعَلِّمُ أَصْحَابَهُ أَنْ يَقُولُوا, and he also taught his companions to say, what did he teach them? He said, At-Tahiyyatu lillah was-salawatu wat-tayyibat, Assalamu alayk ayyuha an-nabi wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu, Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi as-salihin, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. But I have to say something here as regards to what Ibn al-Qayyim said. He said, وَكَانَ يُخَفِّفُهُ جِدًّا, that the Prophet used to make the tashahud in the second rak'ah, at-tashahud al-awwal, he used to make it very light. يُخَفِّفُهُ جِدًّا, very light. كَأَنَّهُ عَلَى الرَّضْفِ, as if he was sitting on a hot stone. If someone is on a hot stone, you want to stand up very quickly. So they were just making similitude. He used to make it very light. وَلَمْ يُنْقَلْ عَنْهُ حَدِيثٌ, and there was no hadith from him That was Ibn al-Qayyim saying that. From the Prophet ﷺ, قط at all أنه كان يصلي عليه وعلى آله فيه. That they used to pray for the Prophet ﷺ on Tashahud al-Awwal. Like after saying Tahiyyat, they will ask, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin. Just like Salat Ibrahimiyya. Ibn al-Qayyim has the opinion that there was no hadith at all that authenticated praying for the Prophet ﷺ after the Tashahud al-Awwal and his family. There was no hadith. That was what Ibn al-Qayyim said. So, وَلَا يَسْتَعِيذُ فِيهِ مِنْ عَذَابِ الْقَبْرِ. And the Prophet ﷺ didn't used to say, Allahumma إني أعوذ بك من عذاب جهنم وعذاب القبر ومن فتنة المحيا والممات ومن شر فتنة المسيح الدجال. That he didn't used to say this. So, but Ibn Shaykh al-Albani rahmatullahi alayhi, he said in reality, the companions asked the Prophet someday that, "O Prophet, we have known how to pray for you, how to seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's peace on you." You know, in the Tashahud, it is stated, As-salamu alayk, that is, peace be unto you. They now ask the Prophet, how do we then pray for you? Then the Prophet said, you should say, "O Allah, have mercy on him," to the end of the prayer. So, but that hadith that they narrated, it was a generic one, like a general one. Was it really pertaining to Tashahud al-Awwal or not? So, Shaykh al-Albani rahmatullahi alayhi, he said, because of this hadith and some other hadith that the Prophet told the companions that they can pray for him, then if one prays for the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam while in Tashahud al-Awwal, then there is nothing. It is fine. The salah is still valid. And there is nothing, it's not against the teaching of the Prophet, because the Prophet also taught the companions that they should pray for him. So in this regard, wallahu a'lam, if one says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidun majid, Allahumma barik, in At-Tashaahud al-Awwal, the salah is still valid. Wallahu a'lam. Even this is the opinion of Ibn Baz rahmatullahi alayhi. So, but what is the sunnah? The sunnah is that the Prophet usually say At-Tashaahud al-Awwal with At-Tahiyyat and Tashahud, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. This is the one that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam usually say. Inshallah, we're going to stop here because of time, and we shall. But before I stop, Jalsatul Istiraha. Let me just quickly, because I may not have time to go there anymore. When standing from the first rakah to the second rakah, do we have to relax in the sitting, or from the sujood straight away to the second rakah? Which one is authentic? Majority of scholars, even the majority of the al-a'immatul arba, the four scholars, they are of the opinion that one should stand from the sujood straight away if there is no need for sitting. We quoted two hadiths yesterday. Ibn Mas'ud was reporting the way the Prophet ﷺ used to pray, right? Yeah. And he said he would, from the sujood, he would bring his head, okay, then his hand, then he didn't used to place the hand on the ground. He would place it on the thigh, and he would stand up without sitting. Jalsatul Istiraha. And we quoted another one from Ibn al-Huwayrith when he was teaching people how to perform salah. He mentioned Jalsatul Istiraha. There is another hadith that the Prophet ﷺ, maybe when he was getting older, then he used to relax. So those people that were taking the Jalsatul Istiraha, they took their evidence from that hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said, I'm now having weight. My body is now becoming maybe heavier. So after the first rak'ah, he would have to relax, that is Jalsatul Istiraha, before going to the second rak'ah. But Wallahu A'lam, that is a reason. If there is no reason for Jalsatul Istiraha, I think it is better one should just stand from the sujood to second rak'ah. So I think this is what I have to say regarding this. I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the perfect understanding of the deen. I mean, do we have anybody who has a question?
Yeah.
No.
For the second Tashaahud, first Tashaahud.
No.
You said it's like faster than the second one. So are we going to, let me say, cut down what we recite? Like I realized you skip some parts in the Tahiyyah, like you skip like 3 lines. So is it that we are going to...
Which lines did I skip?
I think it started from, you skipped Azakiyatullah.
طيب. التحيات لله الزاكيات لله الطيبات صلوات لله. This narration, I think it maybe Wallahu Alam, there is a narration because of knowledge. There is a narration of such, maybe from Imam Shafi'i, but it was reported that kind of statement, At-Tahiyatu lillah, Az-Zakiyatu lillah, At-Tayyibatu salawatu lillah. But Wallahu Alam, the narration that is more authentic, that is more pleasing to the heart, like we know that this is authentic and the sanad is okay, is the one I just read. At-Tahiyatu lillah, was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. At-Tahiyyatu lillah. There is no azakiyat. At-Tahiyyatu lillah. Was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. Combined. At-Tahiyyatu lillah. Was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. Assalamu alayk ayyuhan nabi wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Do you get that now? At-Tahiyyatu lillah was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. So we should try as much as possible to, once we see either sahih al-hadith, when we see an authentic hadith, it is better we leave whatever we are doing that we don't know, maybe it's authentic or not. Da' ma yaribuk ila ma la yaribuk. Leave that which you are doubtful about and go to the one that you are certain. So, and we are certain that this one is more authentic. At-Tahiyyatu lillah was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. So, we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us right. Subhanakallahum wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.